Welcome back. Brand new episode of the podcast, 564, the My Career Podcast. I appreciate you. We've been busy and we missed last week. I don't know if you noticed, but we did not have a new episode last week. I was gone all week. I did not plan well for the future. I'm just going to admit that. It's my fault. If I had a real producer, Bob, he probably would have made me do something. But I had texted Bob, my producer. I said, hey, I don't think I have an episode this week. I'm out of town. I'm just too busy. If I did something, it would be kind of half-assed. And sorry. And he's like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. So here we are, making up for it. Voicemails coming your way. We're going to answer your questions. If you want to be part of the podcast and you have a question, you have a topic you want me to talk about, to cover, call in. The number is 360-830-6660. If you're in a country outside the U.S., the United States, add a +1 to that. All right, you guys. Last week I was in Canada, Goldfinger shows. We did Festival Alac. We did Red Bridge Fest. So Festival Alac was kind of in the Montreal area. And then Red Bridge is in the Quebec City area. And they're not in the cities. They're outside the cities. They're in these country, small towns. And it's kind of a different vibe. It's like very European festival kind of style. But it was cool to see Propagandhi. Propagandhi, they're kind of heroes of Canada, and people in the punk rock community love them. So it was awesome to see them. They supported, I think they were on right before Goldfinger on the Festival Alac show that we did. And then they actually headlined a different night at Red Bridge Fest. So it's good to see them out there doing their thing. They seem to be in good spirits. I didn't have a chance to ask them why, like the real reason why they canceled their U.S. dates. I'm just going to continue assuming that they were making a statement or they had some legal issues or something. They couldn't get visas. But yeah, you know, we love Canada. It was awesome. MxPx and the Ataris are going to be back in October. And a bunch of people there were talking about those shows coming up and how exciting that was going to be. So I'm really looking forward to it. MxPx and the Ataris are coming to Montreal and Quebec City. We kick off Quebec City on a Friday. That's October 24th. And then we go down to Montreal Saturday, October 25th at MTELUS. Tickets are on sale, but they are moving fast, so don't wait. MxPx.com for those tickets. And then the week, like right before I went to Canada, Tom Wisniewski and I went out to see the Bouncing Souls. They played at the Crocodile in Seattle, Washington. And so they don't get out west too often. And usually when they are out west, we're doing a show somewhere or we can't be there. So we finally got to go see Bouncing Souls on their tour, sing along, catch up with them, tell old stories, tell new stories. Like it really was cool. I feel a lot of camaraderie with the Bouncing Souls, even though we're not like best friends. We don't know them really, really well, but we just kind of just get along pretty well. And I you know, we've done shows over the years, and yeah, maybe we'll get together and do some more stuff. But awesome to see them. Tom and I got up and sang a little bit with them towards the end of the night. And man, they just put on a great show. It was really fun. And honorable mention, I just want to say, the Jackknives, who have been on this show, they've been part of Music Monday. They hooked me up with a record, and they were on the tour, and I got to hang out with them and catch it up and talk. So this is their record, and the vinyl is translucent red, really cool looking vinyl. Really proud to see, you know, a band that submitted to my show being on a tour with some other friends of mine, Bouncing Souls, and it was just awesome. Check it out. All this artwork on the inside. The back's got all the songs and the band. Well done, guys. I appreciate you, and thanks for the vinyl. This came out on Fumi Records. I don't know. I think it's a California company. Very cool. So we got that going on. As far as vinyl goes, MxPx also has a split 7-inch out right now, a split with Direct Hit. Their song's called 110. Our song is called 100. So you can get this. There's 2 different variants. It comes with 1 record each, but you can choose binary blue or JavaScript black splatter. Everything's available right now at MxPx.com until supplies are gone. While supplies last, until supplies are gone. Speaking of MxPx.com and merch, before we get into your voicemails, because we're going to get into your voicemails, we're going to answer some questions, we're going to talk about what you want to talk about, which is probably some real sick shit. We'll find out. But we have a bunch of summer merch that we just dropped, and I'm so excited because, one, the board shorts are awesome, and I don't have them here. They're at my house because I was wearing them yesterday. Board shorts with zipper. One pocket's got a zipper, and then there's a key pocket with a zipper. They're awesome. But we also have Hawaiian shirts. Look, Hawaiian shirt. I love how these turned out. It's quality. I mean, it's a Hawaiian shirt with MxPx designs on it. It's so cool. So we have that. We have a 2-piece bikini for the ladies in the same design. We've got a 3-piece grill set. It comes with this grill mitt. Boom. Look at that. Come on, let's grill. Come on. It comes with a spatula, an MxPx spatula that has it kind of looks like a tomahawk. Like you can just slice somebody's head right open with this thing. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube because it's got to be fun to watch. It's got a bottle opener here. It's got, I assume this is for cutting things or hacking meat or tofu if you don't eat meat. But my daughter just used these for burgers the other night and it works great. I used these I used the tongs for steak. Where are the tongs? Well, there's tongs that kind of look like this that are and I don't know where they went. I lost them somewhere. They're probably in the studio somewhere. But you got to check this out. Steaks will be made steak seasoning. MxPx's first steak seasoning, or seasoning of any kind, really. I mean, this is a first for us. So if you like steak, or if you like things to taste like steak, MxPx steaks will be made seasoning. All right, this grill mitt's getting a little warm. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. We've got t-shirts. We got a surf t-shirt, pretty cool. Surf's up. We've got, what is this? We've got the classic logo, the steaks will be made logo. We've got Kiss the Chef. Of course, that's crossed out. Chef's crossed out, and it says Kiss the Punk. We might have another shirt that I haven't found, but check this out. Steaks will be made grill apron. It's got the pockets in the front. You can put your meat in there. I don't know what you put in there, but it's ready to go. It's all at MxPx.com, and we have been working on this stuff for a while, and it's all ready. And I think the funnest part, honestly, is just getting to see the reactions of people going like, "Oh my gosh, they have a grill set," or whatever it is. We have so much cool stuff that I don't even know. I feel like we're a gas station or something. Like Buc-ee's in Texas. When you go into a Buc-ee's, it's just heaven. If you're into marketing and you're into logos, and for me, I go into a Buc-ee's and I'm like, this is awesome. One, the food's great. There's a bunch of different things to choose from, but all the merchandise that they have for Buc-ee's, and he's this beaver guy. He doesn't look like the MxPx Punk, but he is a cartoon looking dude, and I get inspired by that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we had a lot of fun putting all this merch together. So whether it's cheesy or not, it's ready for summer, and I think people are really, really digging this stuff. So we'll see how long this stuff lasts. Let's get into your voicemails, okay? Voicemails. If you haven't already listened to our new song, 100, it's everywhere you hear music, stream music. You can go onto our YouTube, subscribe to the MxPx YouTube. We will be doing some live streams at some point. Haven't planned anything out yet, but we're working on some plans. I mean, we have a show, like I said earlier, we're going to be back in Quebec October 24th and 25. So Quebec City on the 24th, Montreal on the 25th. Go get your tickets. We will be announcing more shows eventually. Not quite ready to do that yet. So let's get into your voicemails. Let's see what is up. Here's Paul.
Hey, what's up, Mike? It's Paul from St. Louis. Hey, just want to get your thoughts on how to balance, like, being humble and then also being super proud of what you've accomplished. I come from nothing, dirt poor, no education. I always thought I was going to be a musician, and in my 30s realized that wasn't going to pan out, so I really had to kind of reinvent myself. So worked super hard, improved my resume, my education, and got on with the company 10 years ago and stuck with them. And now last week I got promoted to partner and bought out to the retiring founding partner. So it's super exciting. It's also super terrifying because I now own half of this giant multi-million-dollar business. And if it fails, I'll lose everything. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how to let myself be excited. Like, I haven't told really anybody other than my immediate family. Feel guilty, like, even changing, like, my LinkedIn. So I just don't want people to think I'm bragging, but also, like, it's really cool, and I'm super proud of myself that this little punk kid has, like, accomplished this. So, I don't know. Just wanted to see what your thoughts were. Like, how do you balance, like, being proud of yourself and being humble? And then my second part is, like, wondering, do you know of any other, like, Pxers that have become, like, successful, like, in white-collar things or gone on to do some, like, really cool stuff? Have you heard any of those stories? So, be interesting to hear. So, appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Paul. All right. How to be humble. How do I stay humble? Sometimes I'm not, but I know what you mean. And I know that I understand the question. Congratulations are in order. Congratulations, Paul. I hope you're still going good. And I hope I can give you something that you can actually take away and use. Let me think about it. Let me go with, it is weird because when you're in a band, you need to tell people about your music. You need to get the word out. I need to tell people about 100, only available at MxPx.com. Available to listen to everywhere you hear music. But I think that's a thing you kind of just learn how to do over time. It's not something that I was natural at, and I definitely felt self-conscious. You hear a lot of people that are musicians or artists say, I love the art. I love to do art. I love to make music. I don't like to sell myself. I don't like to sell it. And unfortunately, the world that we live in here, whatever this simulation may be, it rewards you when you communicate what you have done and what you are doing. So now we realize, okay, I have to tell people what I'm doing in order to continue to be successful as a musician, maybe not in all walks of life. So I'm just kind of like taking it step by step, wrapping my head around the idea of, in order to be successful, you need to tell people you are successful, right? So I think that honestly, everybody's a little bit different. I was raised the way I was raised, and that's my personality. And so I think I am a humble person for the most part. When it comes to you kind of like being hesitant to tell everyone, to change your LinkedIn, to announce that you are now, the part owner in this giant company, whatever it is, I understand that, because that's a very real, you don't want to jinx it. It's a real feeling that you don't want to jinx. And I think that's why we hold back. It's like we don't want to ruin anything. And it's kind of like when you get pregnant as a lady, you don't want to tell everybody the day after you get pregnant because it may not keep, may not stick. So you want to make sure, oh, okay, the egg has been fertilized and made its way into the uterine lining, lodged itself in there, and it's ready to rock. I mean, I don't know how long that takes. I'm not a doctor, but that's kind of what you want. You want it to be embedded fully into whatever structure you're in before you really can feel comfortable. And can you ever feel comfortable? This is America, right? We're not guaranteed full careers anymore. I mean, I think that was a small part of America where you kind of had this sort of like, okay, if you work for a company your whole life, they will take care of you. You will be able to take care of your family. That was the American dream we kind of grew up thinking about. Now, the fact that that's not true anymore doesn't mean the American dream is the fact that that's not true anymore doesn't mean the American dream is dead. It just means we've shifted. We've shifted gears. We've shifted planes, eras. Technology has really pushed companies forward, not only companies, but our lives. And in some ways, it has made them worse, Sure. I mean, you can't, it's almost like you can't have anything good without having something bad that comes with it. And that's just the way life is. And it's, a big reason why we need people to lead with humility and to understand that we're not always going to get things right. So like you as a boss, being humble, it's not that you don't think you deserve whatever it is you get or got. It's probably just coming from a place where you don't want to mess it up, So I think I think the fact that you're thinking about this and even calling into my podcast is you're on the right track, and you seem to have a good head on your shoulders, and just do what you do. I wouldn't think of it as, you're thinking of it as everybody's judging you. When you become successful, your family and friends will judge you a little bit. They'll be happy for you, but if you get too successful too quickly, there might be some issues with a few people here and there, whether they say it or not, because people don't like change. And if there's a change, they want that change to happen to them, So that's a very real thing. And there's a book called, I think it's called The 40 Laws of Power. I don't know what the number is, but it's like however many laws, 20 laws of power. And it's Robert Greene, and he basically writes all these scenarios from life, from society, from the past, but something that could be translated to now. And one of them is called like, don't outshine the master. And it's real basic. It's, he'll have an example of like somebody from history that outshined the master and got killed from it. So you don't always die from these mistakes, of course, but what he means by don't outshine the master or never outshine the master is if you are working for a boss and this boss really likes you, this, that, and you're making your way up in the company, if you do something to like make the boss look bad and make you look good, that usually won't be good for you, because the boss is still the boss and can fire you and can do all these undermined things. And so we learn all these things, so I've read that book, and I'm sure maybe you've read that book. I don't know. But it's just these little life hacks, these little life tactics, or just more just like learning what other people might be doing in your life so that you can recognize that and avoid it. This book isn't really meant to make you take advantage of people. It's meant to protect you from people taking advantage of you. And I found it very useful. So never outshine the master. So like there's a lot of these big power struggles and dynamics that happen when you own a company, when you run a company. And MxPx really isn't the same way because we're so chill on the business end. Yes, we need to make money and pay bills, but we always do that. It's never an issue. So I don't really go hardcore on business because I'm an artist, because I'm building things and I'm making things. Yes, we need to pay bills and make money, but it's never the priority. The priority is always, can we build something really cool? Can we make something cool happen? And we've been able to do that, you know, the last couple albums with Self-Titled, with Find a Way Home. And, you know, just going forward, I feel like we'll just continue to come up with ideas and execute and make them happen. And if it doesn't make us the most money possible, that's all right, because that's really not the number one priority for us. And I think a lot of companies that aren't based in music or art or creativity, I mean, even a finance company has to get creative in a lot of ways to figure out how they're going to make their bottom line happen. So I think it still applies to just a regular business. You can have fun, you can live a good life, be humble, and still be highly successful, still be cutthroat when you need to, you know, because not everybody's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to do what you got to do as a business guy. Now, like I said earlier, I was raised, you know, to be humble. I think it's just part of how my mom and dad talked to me as a kid and reacted to the things I would do and other people would do. And I don't know, I've never seen life as a real gnarly competition. It's a place where we can all, you know, enjoy each other, enjoy new experiences, enjoy the same old experiences that we enjoyed yesterday. I kind of like that too. So, to finish up your question, you asked, are there any Pxers that have done really, really well in life, companies? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I meet people all the time that are much more rich than I am, that are much more successful than I am in what they do. You know, professional gamblers, doctors, lawyers, you name it. You know, a friend of mine, he's a friend of mine because he was a fan and he contacted me, you know, because of MxPx, but over the years we've become friends. Ryan Holiday, he is an author, highly successful, much more successful than I am in you know, in today's cultural dynamics and how you sort of like judge success. You know, he's much better. He's better off than I am. More money, sold more books than I have records, and you know, does speeches all over the world and talks to super famous people. And he has his own podcast that has like all these famous people on. So like, that's okay. That to me, that's success. I mean, he's done amazing, and he's still going, and he's still selling tons of books and doing his talks, and he's got his career on lock. And there's a lot of people like that. There's people you know, a friend of my wife's is a big fan of MxPx, and she is like the casting director for American Idol, you know, things like that. So like there's people out there doing really cool jobs that are highly successful, probably make more money than me. And that's something that you kind of just realize over the years. You're like, oh wow. I mean, I'm in no way complaining about where I am in life. I'm really happy and make plenty of money and yeah, we're good. But I do love to see Pxers doing well. So if you're a Pxer and you've got something to brag about, and maybe that's not the right way to describe it, I would love you to call in. Let us know what you're doing. If there's other people that could benefit from your business, from what you do in our community, even better. I want the PX community to come together, to help each other out when needed. You know, it's not a mandatory thing, of course, but I think we got a great set of people that really care about humans and care about each other and care about doing the right thing most of the time. And Ryan Holiday fits perfectly in there. You know, he's not in our fan club or anything, but there's a lot of people out there that love MxPx that have no business spending time, you know, calling in on our podcast or anything like that. But they probably would if I was like, did you know that you could call into my podcast and be on it? Here's the number. They'd be like, what? Yes, I'm calling in. So, I mean, I just don't spend my time trying to make that happen. But, yeah, I do meet a lot of people. Jared Leto, I know he's in trouble right now, but first time I met him, he came up to me. He's like, oh my God, I love MxPx, blah, blah, blah. Gave me a hug. We hung out, you know. So it's just kind of wild sometimes when you meet like a big famous actor or actress, and they love MxPx. So, Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings is another good example. She's a comedian. She's a TV producer and writer, and when she was a kid, she listened to MxPx. So I don't know if she still does. She definitely knows who we are. Tom went and met her and went to her show maybe a year ago or so, and they just hung out and had a great time. So one of these days, I'll get to meet her and anybody else that might be a big fan. I would love to meet. Yeah, that's all I can think of. I'm sure there's so many people I can't think of right now, but like I say, I'm a humble guy. I'm a chill guy. I'm not too worried about it. All right. Let's get to, oh, by the way, Joe Rogan follows me on Twitter and on Instagram, I think. One of those things. I'm not sure. Maybe not on Instagram. He follows me on one of those two. And it was just because like 5 years ago or something, I had like written him something about Boston because we were in Boston doing something and he said something about Boston. It's like, just, you know how you do. And then he like started following me. So maybe he's a fan of MxPx. I have no idea. I've never actually met him. All right. That was a long one. Let's get to the next one.
Hey, Mike. Big MxPx fan here. Never gotten a chance to see you guys live. Really anxious to check you out. Hoping for a show on the U.S. this year, but I see there's a couple in Canada. Very worried these days about crossing borders and stuff like that. I'm sure you see what's going on out there. So just wondering if you thinking of announcing any shows on the U.S. side of the border. Got a lot of people worried about passports and immigration and all that kind of stuff these days. So keep up the great work, and thank you very much. Rock on, buddy.
Rad. Well, I can understand that, especially when you just don't know what could happen. MxPx will be doing shows in the U.S. this year after Canada. We just haven't announced them yet. But things keep changing. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, this or that or this, that. That's always how it is, though. I just crossed the border in and out of Canada, had no issues. In fact, you know, years ago, I had a red flag on my passport going into Canada or any of the UK. It would be Canada, Australia, UK, and so I've gone through it many, many times. Secondary immigration, sitting there for an hour, sitting there for 2 hours. Like, am I going to get in? I don't know. But the last couple times have been solid gold, and especially this last time was so easy. I think, honestly, as long as you have a reason and as long as you have a reason to go and you have your documentation, passport, you should be fine. Like, I don't know, like I was talking about earlier, I don't know why Propaganda didn't come to the U.S. or won't come to the U.S. because as a band, you can get permission, you can get a visa, you can, unless they just wouldn't give them a visa. But I feel like they would have said something online if that was the case, because if they really wanted to come to the U.S., there's ways to make it happen. Now, as a show goer, somebody that's going to see a show, I understand that. I wouldn't want to just go through all that hassle, the fear of the unknown, the idea that you could get turned away. And then if you get turned away once, that's what the red flag is. I mean, you're red flagged for another 5-10 years easily. So I can understand that. But as far as like band people, this is what we do for a living. I travel because I play music for people. So I need to go to Canada. I need to go to Australia. I need to go to the UK. I need to go wherever, Europe, South America. And, you know, we're just going to have to figure it out each time. And each new president that comes in, some new administration changes. It's like, well, we just figure it out. This is going to change too. Like, all things change eventually. So I just try not to freak out about things. I mean, there's plenty to freak out about, but for me, I don't think it's an issue if you have a passport. Now, if you don't have a passport, yeah, maybe don't try to cross the border. All right. Hopefully that eases your brain a little bit. We will be in the U.S. You don't have to cross. We'll be doing some shows down south. All right, let's get to the next episode. And I think there was another Canada one in here. We'll see.
Hey, Mike, this is Rick from Canada, Ontario, Canada. I just heard that you guys are coming to Quebec and Montreal. I was waiting for the next announcement that you guys were going to keep driving 5 hours and end up in Toronto. I don't know when the last time you guys came to Toronto, probably like 2014, or I think you came to the Opera House in 2009 or something like that. But definitely you need to add Toronto on the mix. Come on now. And I have a question for you. I want to know, besides punk, what other genres of music are you into? I feel like as you get older, you start getting into other music too. And for me personally, I've always been into punk rock, been in bands and listened to punk rock. But as I got older, I'm 47, have 4 kids, dog, house. I started really getting into reggae. And so I don't know how they correlate together, but they seem like they're on opposite ends of the music spectrum. But I really dig reggae, old reggae, and still love punk. But, man, the bass lines in reggae, like, just define the song. The whole song is just bass and drums, and the bass lines are so good and so smooth. They're not just like, I don't know how to explain it. They're just really good. And, yeah, just wondering what you're into. Are you into other types of genres, country music, pop music, whatever? Let me know. That'd be cool. All right. Have a good day, Mike. Bye.
Cool. Thanks for the call, Rick. Yeah, I knew there was another Canada one in there. And you're in Canada. You're in Toronto, or in Ontario at the very least, near Toronto. Hey, no excuses. I agree we should be going to Toronto. We're not yet. It's not going to be part of the Quebec shows. If we do come to Toronto, it's going to be a separate thing. I think just things don't work out all the time when you want them to. It's so much harder to book shows in the venues on the certain dates. So like we'll have a date and a weekend ready to go, and then like one band can't do it, and like so we have to like redo it all. All right, well, let's try this date. Things like that happen, and there's a lot of different scenarios happening. So, but I agree with you. We should be coming to Toronto eventually. And you wanted to know what music I listen to aside from punk rock. That is a great question. I listen to a lot of what my kids listen to, of course. If they're listening to some Roblox rap song, or whatever it is, like they're kind of out of that now. But my daughter listens to a lot of pop, some Sabrina Carpenter, some names that I don't even remember or know. And my son kind of listens to like random music, like because he's 8. So like one of his favorite songs is "Dumb Ways to Die." So many dumb ways to die. I'm just like over and over for a while. So for me, I've always been into other kinds of music: Americana, folk, country, alt rock, alternative rock, like grunge. I guess it's all kind of punky, but pop music, depending on the artist, like a Justin Bieber, a couple of his songs I really love. Selena Gomez. Yeah, I like a couple of her songs. That's pop. If it's just a really well done song and a really well done performance, I like it. You know, a Charlie Puth, a couple of his songs are good. I wouldn't say I like any full albums or I don't like more than maybe 3 songs from any artist that's in the pop genre or in the rap genre, or maybe honestly, like definitely a Kanye West fan. I know that's like, what? But I mean, you got to think back, like he's been around a long time and he's put out a lot of great songs. So I'm kind of just thinking of his overall catalog. He's got some amazing songs. And other rap stuff I've listened to, I don't know. I don't really listen to a lot of rap. Like I'll listen to like one song by somebody that I like, a song I really like. There's a song called like Big Bank or something like that. It's a really good song. My wife like showed it to me years ago. I'm like, I like that. It's like Big Bank, something like that. The Big Bank, like that. I just get into a song. So, who else? I mean, what else? Reggae. Never really got into reggae too much. I like ska. I like some ska. And I like some reggae, but reggae for me is kind of a passive music. It's something I put on in the background, or it's on at a party, something that's just there. But I respect it, absolutely. I don't think it's an easy type of music to play. You really have to know what you're doing. And same with ska, you know, these upbeat guitar strokes. Not everybody can do those, even though everybody thinks they can do those. It's just, there is an art to it. So... and punk rock's it's gone in so many different directions over the years. It's not just chain punk, which is like gutter punk, or you know, hard punk with with guys in combat boots and a chain around their neck. You know, it's like chain punk, right? There's egg punk, which is like nerd rock, right? Like it's like kind of nerdy, a little more cerebral, fun, quirky. I would say like Dead Milkmen kind of, are they egg punk? I don't know. They were around well before these genre names. These are like Reddit genre names. I don't know if they're actually real genres, but you know, there's just so many different types of punk rock that when I write a song, I'll literally categorize it. Is this an MxPx Punk song, or is this a Ramones punk song, or is this a Bad Religion style punk song? So like, you know, there's different bands that you can sort of like attach to styles of punk, and I think MxPx we have our own style, but we have a core style, and then we go around the edges, get harder, get softer, get more quirky, get riffier, get more melodic. I like to dance around the genres. I have fun with it. I really do. But right now, I'm honestly not listening to a lot of music. I'll listen to a song here and there to check it out, but I'm not listening to music because I'm writing music. So most of the time when I'm thinking of music, I'm thinking of the new song that I'm trying to figure out. So I wrote a song recently. I've got the whole song, and then Wisniewski's like, I don't know if I like the bridge. And so I was like, I really liked the bridge in my head. I was like, wait, what? It needs a bridge. It needs to do this so that it gets to the next part. So like, if we don't have this bridge there, the song is effed. And I'm just thinking this in my mind. We're not having the conversation, but so I was like, okay, well, we have to have something there. So we'll figure it out. And so I just wrote a different bridge. Now I haven't brought it to them yet. And so nobody's heard it yet. So I'm going to finalize it. I'm going to iterate on the bridge is what I mean by that. Is like, play it over and over. As you play it over and over, you iterate, and that will make subtle changes or even big changes along the way. So that's pretty much how I do most of my parts, especially a chorus. I iterate a chorus over and over. And I think Diane Warren was who I learned that from. She's a very famous songwriter. I think she wrote the big hit for Aerosmith, the one that's like, don't want to miss a thing whenever I close my eyes, whenever I fall asleep, I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. Anyway, she would just go over and over, just do that chorus over and over and over, and whatever she was writing, she's just talking about her process. It's just sing that chorus over and over, and if you sing it enough times, you'll either realize it's not that good, or you'll tighten up the parts that need tightening up, and it'll become a solid hunk of hook. And that's how I do it. All right. I think we're moving on to the next voicemail.
Hey, Mike. My name is Anthony. I'm a big fan. Grew up in Sacramento, California. Actually booked a tumble down show there in Sacramento, and you had your buddy playing solo with you. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was a good time. It was my birthday, actually, so you gave me a free 7-inch picture vinyl. Thanks again. I've been wanting to call in for a long time, not sure what to say, but I was just listening to the Cooties while I was door dashing, and that brought up a whole bunch of questions. First, how did that come about? And how did it come about that Yuri wasn't participating? I was really curious about that. Because I know he plays bass and guitar. I've seen him do both. And then my last question was, does Tom still drum as well as he did on this album? Because he sounds really good. All right, man. Thanks again. Have a good day, bud. Thanks.
Brad. Thanks for calling in, Anthony. SoCal, man. I'm sure I would recognize you if I saw your face. I would think. Tumble Down. A lot of good times. Thanks for being part of it. So Cooties, how did it come about? Honestly, I can't really remember. I remember the first time we did Cooties, we were in, I want to say it was, the reason why Yuri wasn't in the band is he just wasn't there when we were all like starting the Cooties. So we were at Giles, the bass player of the Cooties. We were at his house in his basement, and Tom was there jamming with him, and I guess it was Eric, but Eric wasn't in a band at the time. Sorry, forgive me, guys. This is not good podcasting material. I'm just literally trying to think in my head, like, what happened. All I remember is we're in this practice room, and I don't know why we were there in the first place, but we're like, let's start a band, yeah, let's do it. And so we put a bunch of song idea names into a hat, and we're like, okay, let's write like a bunch of songs right now. And so we picked one out, and it said, Now the Beach Sucks. And we picked another one out, it said Weather. And we just started writing songs. So Now the Beach Sucks was one of those songs we wrote. And, Lisa's Clean, that was just an idea because our friend Lisa took showers and she smelled good, and we were all dirty punks. And so all our song ideas were just literally things that happened right in front of us, experiences, people we knew. It was truly just off the cuff. And I think that's what made the Cooties really fun, was we didn't try very hard, but it still actually sounded really good. And I kind of regret that Yuri wasn't in the band now. I feel bad for not including Yuri. He should have at least been on like tambourine or something. So Tom on drums. Tom probably just was itching to play drums again because he started out playing drums and then moved to guitar when I was like, hey, we need a guitar player, I think. Andy's not looking like he's interested anymore, that kind of deal. And so Tom started playing guitar to be an MxPx, but he already played drums. Now, can Tom play drums right now as good as he did then on that record? Hell no. But he can still play drums. He just needs some training. He needs to train. He needs to get back into it, back into the groove, just like any band would need to get their set in order if you haven't played in a couple years. So we always had a fun time, though. It was good. Cooties was fun. We have one album. It's called Let's Play House. You can, I think you can, it's probably on streaming everywhere, but the vinyl is probably long sold out by now. All right, couple more.
Hey, Mike. It's Chris from New York. Just listened to the latest song, 110. I did notice in the credits that you have Mike Kalasian mastering the songs. Curious to know, when do you make the determination of who is going to master the song? And I do know Mike Kalasian. I'm from New York, and he's from New York. I've worked with him on numerous projects of mine. And I will say this about him. I think he has the best engineering ear I've heard out of anybody. I was on the boards while he was playing he was playing drums. And we were recording, and he just stops in the middle of his recording and says, "Did you hear that?" No one heard anything, but while he was playing drums and recording, he heard a fly pass one of the drum mics. I just think that was just incredible to have that kind of ear while you're playing drums. Just thought I'd share a cool story, but yeah, just curious to see, how does MxPx choose who's going to mix, engineer, and master their records? Just curious, Mike. Have a good one.
Great call. Thanks, Chris. So I don't know if I can even answer the question of how do we choose who mixes and masters our records, because it's just they happen. But I could tell you how we got to work with Mike Kalasian. Ryan Furlot, who mixed and produced our last album, Find a Way Home, we were trying him out, and so we brought him in to record 100, and it was his first thing with us and first session, and he did great, recorded, mixed it. He had Mike master. He had he had 3 people master it, maybe 2 people. I could be remembering wrong. And we chose Mike's. We just liked it better. We've had plenty of other people mastering things that we're very happy with. So it's just one of those things. You pick what you like best, and we liked his best. So that's what we did. We don't always do that. The reason we did that for that particular song was because we were trying out Ryan. We're trying him out, and basically just seeing if we liked to work with him, which we did. And so we let him pick, like, all right, just have it mastered by a few people that you like. And so Ryan actually picked Mike to master it, not us. And usually when somebody's producing or mixing, if they have a mastering person in mind, a preference, we'll entertain that pretty heavily. So when it comes to how do we choose who we're working with MxPx, we choose who can get us the sound we're looking for, who can do it scheduling wise, who can work with our schedule. And, people, all the questions come into play. Do we get along? There doesn't, it doesn't matter if there's an age difference, because we've been produced by people that are 20 years older than us. We've been produced by people that are 3 or 4 years older than us, or even younger than us. So it doesn't really matter in that regard to us, age. It's just, are you a good hang? Are you somebody we like? We had Gavin McKillop mix and produce and do everything for Panic, our Panic album. And we never worked with him again, but we loved working with him. It was just like one of those time and place things where we got to work with Gavin McKillop. He did the Friends theme song. He produced that. And that's not why we worked with him, by the way. I don't remember why. We worked with him based on one of the other things he had done. We were like, we really like this. But he's done some really cool stuff over the years. Anyway, I digress. We've worked with a lot of different great producers, and I feel like every producer we work with, we get a new experience. And I think that's why we don't choose only one producer for every single album that we put out. And that might be different. Like if we had put out our first album and it was a mega hit and multi-platinum album, maybe we would just keep having Aaron Sprinkle do every single album after that. But I just think we're always experimenting. We're always trying something new. And so we try to bring in a new person for a new album, a new sound, a new set of songs. And I think the thing that we really keep consistent is ourselves as players, as musicians, as singers, all of the above. And that's what keeps it coherent. And then just bringing in other people from around the world that can bring their experiences, their ideas, their expertise to the table. Yeah. And then sometimes it just happens. It works out the way it works out. Let's do one more voicemail and then we'll get out of here. Whoop, whoop.
Mike, this is Brian from SoCal. I'm at a Padre Mariner game right now here in San Diego. Thanks to Seattle for bringing the rain. It actually rained in Southern California today. Score update is 2-1 Seattle. Padres at the bat. Merrill's getting ready to bring it. Anyway, Mike, the reason for my call is we've got to get one of your MxPx songs as a song for when the closer comes in. I'm thinking Ready to Rage or Secret Weapon, something like that. Somehow we got to make it happen. So those out there who know these things and know who to get a hold of, let's make this happen. Let's get some MxPx playing in the stadiums across the nation. Oh, all right. You have a great day. Later, bro.
Brian, I love that you called from the baseball game. Go Mariners. Dude, great call. I agree. We should have MxPx everywhere in all the sports games, arenas, stadiums, you name it. Yeah, Let's Ride, Secret Weapon, Ready to Rage. I like your picks. I like your picks a lot. Oh, you didn't say Let's Ride. I wrote that down myself. I think Let's Ride would be great. Yeah, who do we talk to? Somebody get a hold of me. Somebody get a hold of our management. Let's make it happen. You know what's funny is people often will hit me up to book me, and they think I book myself. They think I do my own booking. I don't know where, it's like, all right. I don't think I can do it, but I'll ask my booking guy. But with this thing, honestly, anybody you get a hold of on our team can find who is the right person to bring it to. But what if not only I think we should be in baseball, we should be in hockey, we should be in basketball, we should be in football, we should be all over all of the sports, especially in Seattle. We're going to do something about that either this year or next year. We'll figure it out. And this is probably one of my favorite calls because it gets me excited, gets me riled up, it gets my brain going all over the place. Like, yeah, we should be on those sports teams, and we should be like hanging out in the dugout with those guys, right? Like dip and chew and spitting and doing whatever. It's like, let's go. All right. What do I need to do? Send some vinyl over to the Mariners bench or what? What's going on? Bullpen? How's the pitching going? How's the Colorado Rockies bullpen doing this? I heard they had the worst bullpen in the history of bullpens. Go baseball. All right, dude, I'm going to stop this podcast and I'm going to go write a song or something because I'm inspired now. Love it, Brian. Thanks for all your calls. If you guys want to call in, the number is 360-830-6660 in the United States. If you're outside the U.S., you can add a 1 to that for the country code. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube. It's Mike Herrera Video on YouTube. And follow me on all the socials and all that. Mike Herrera TD on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook. I'll see you on there every now and then. It's a nice place, right? Keep it positive, people. Keep it upbeat. And I wish the best for you. Have a great summer. Thanks for supporting what we do with MxPx, the site, and our merch and the vinyl and the music. It really does mean the world to us. Appreciate you. All right. That's it. Bob, take us out of here. Shout out to Bob McKnight for producing, doing his thing. If you want to submit to Music Monday, submit a YouTube link with your band name, where you're from, and the song on the Mike Herrera Podcast Facebook group. Okay? All right, that's it. MxPx.com. Get your grill on. Peace.